Hey, yo.
Hello.
I'm Ben.
I'm Alex.
We are the Fantasy Chairmen, and this is our podcast. No chance today.
No chance today.
We've had some crazy schedules the last couple of weeks, but I'll tell you what, I am on full tilt. The 100% tilt.
What happened?
1,000% tiltage.
What happened that got you on tilt so bad?
Week 1 happened, Alex. Week 1 of the NFL season, and I am extremely excited it's back, but at the same time...
Week 1, yeah. Why don't you sit down here, and I'll tell you a quick little story, okay? Gather round. Week 1, here's how it starts. It's always wild. The end. Okay, there you go.
That was a real short story.
I told you.
It was a good.
Short story. Week 1 is straight madness.
Oh, you're telling me, man. You are telling me it was ridiculous.
And not a lot of what happens in week 1 continues on throughout the rest of the season. So there's going to be some stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some things that might stick, but a lot of it, smoke and mirrors.
No, there is certainly a lot that I hope does not continue, and we'll get into that more in the week 1 recap. Mm-hmm. But my goodness, if you could see how tilted I am, I'm basically horizontal. Just horizontal. I'm standing on the wall.
Can't get through doors that way.
Doesn't work well.
Not very well at all.
I got to crouch down.
That's kind of weird.
It does not work. But, yeah, there were some moments where I just felt disgusted. But you know what? Football's back. Stadiums were full.
Yeah, they were.
People were having a good time, and we saw some crazy good games.
Yeah.
Crazy good games that came down to the wire on a few of them. Others that were blowouts that...
How about that Monday night game?
Oh, boy. That was...
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
That was fun to watch.
Oh, man.
Real fun to watch.
It was funny. I heard some other guys talking about it, but I was thinking the exact same thing as I was watching it. I was like, man, this is a horrible game in the beginning, and then towards the end, man, this is a great game.
Just fireworks.
Just
idea. It did started out real sloppy.
Just everybody was rusty.
Real sloppy, real slow. Other than Mariota just rumbling, bumbling for 30 yards or whatever he got on that first play.
Yeah.
That was nice, but apparently now he's dealing with injury. So
Apparently.
Oh, well, we will get more into that. We've got news, we've got a recap, and then we've got matchups for week 2 coming your way today. And then we're going to follow this up with a league note for the Fantasy Chairman Dynasty League and for the game or the League of Origin. Sith Happens.
Oh, yeah.
Renamed from Game of Zones.
Yes.
By our very own Alex here, defending champ.
That's right.
Named it, went with the Star Wars theme.
I did.
Sith Happens.
Go with it and have some fun with it.
It's classic. You can't go wrong with a Star Wars theme. That's for sure. For sure. But you ready for news?
Let's get into it.
All right.
And now it's time for your NFL news.
All right, Alex. While you go through this news, I've got a little special something to just play in the background because it's pretty much none of it is good.
It's all kind of sad news.
We're just gonna set the mood here for this news, and then we'll bring it back upbeat.
Do I got to give it a minute here?
Just let it build.
Oh, let it build. Okay.
Let's get
okay.
No.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, holly jolly news segment here. Unfortunately, there's a whole lot of injuries that's on the news today. First one is Raheem Mostert. Started this morning out with, looked like he was going to be out for about 8 weeks with chipped cartilage.
Yep.
Was going to have surgery, be back for the rest of the season, hopefully after 8 weeks. Later found out that he's going to be out for the season. Oh, no. Decided to have a full meniscus repair surgery, and he's going to be out for the season. So
Raheem most hurt.
it most hurts this team, I'll tell you that, because I had him on a lot of teams.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my goodness. Next bit. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzmagic. The bearded one. Goes down with a hip subluxation.
Not Fitz. No.
No magic for that man. He's out 8 weeks at a minimum. Hopefully get him back. It's just rough stuff. Rough. Sad day. Michael Gallup.
Oh, God.
Dallas Cowboys number 3 wide receiver. Out with a calf strain 5 to 8 weeks. Shed a tear for you, Michael.
What is happening?
Zach Ertz has a hamstring injury, but apparently he'll still be okay to play next week. For now. Left tackle Mekhi Becton.
No.
The New York Jets. Dislocated kneecap.
Oh,
Ouchie.
Mekhi. I'm sorry. Mani.
Mekhi Mani. Out 4 to 6 weeks currently, so... I don't know if you watched that game at all on Sunday, Ben, but once Mekhi Becton went out, Zach Wilson was on the run.
Yes, he was.
So that's going to affect that offense quite a bit. We'll probably talk about that a little bit later.
Definitely watched, and yeah, he was having to be mobile for a long time.
Yes. Brandon Ayuk sat out this game, and apparently nobody really quite knows, but it sounds like he might have a little bit of a lingering preseason injury.
I don't know. That or some sad Shanahanigans being played.
Sad day. Brandon Ayuk, he went pretty early in some drafts.
Oh, yes, he did.
5th round, 6th round?
Yep. He was going to be the cornerstone for a lot of wide receiver groups for fantasy teams.
Oh, sad. And last but not least...
Oh, no.
Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy.
No.
Goes down with a high ankle sprain. It looked a lot worse on television this Sunday. Got carted off the field, head in his hands. You could all but read the writing on the wall that he was done for the season. But just a little bit of light. Sounds like he's not going to be done for the season.
Oh.
Only 4 to 6 weeks, possibly.
Oh.
A little optimism there for you at the end.
It still hurts.
And that, my friends, is the news and notes.
Oh. Yeah, that's
a sad one today.
real sad news segments today. I don't know how to feel about all that. I hate injuries. They just suck. You never want to see a guy go down with an injury in fantasy football.
No. And to kick off your season, literally, I had Raheem Mostert for 2 plays.
Yeah.
Done for the season.
I had J.K. Dobbins before the season even started.
Couldn't even get into the But that's fantasy football.
Gus Edwards in a whole bunch of best ball leagues.
That is fantasy football, and we adapt, we overcome.
Jerry Jeudy on the same team that I had J.K. Dobbins.
We will survive.
We will overcome. We will survive. It's only week 1.
We're going to live on.
We're going to survive. I still need to get that on here.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Gosh, dang it.
If you get blown out, we can play that.
Oh, man. Yeah, I need that drop for sure.
Oh, shoot.
Well, moving on to better, happier things.
Better and happier things. That sounds lovely.
That's right. It's time for the week 1 recap. And what a week 1 it was.
Yeah, it was. No kidding.
Started the week off hot with a explosive Thursday night game with just passing offense like crazy.
Galore.
There was no rushing offense.
Galore.
There was nothing to be had in the running game. And then we ended the week we already talked about it, a fantastic finish from the Baltimore Ravens and the Las Vegas Raiders there. So let's just run through kind of some of the standout stuff. We don't need to necessarily go over all the scores or everything, but just some of the stuff that stuck out to us in week 1 this week, Alex.
Okay.
And I'll start with Shanahanigans himself.
Are we skipping Thursday Night Football then?
Oh, I'm skipping right past Thursday, and we're going to jump around here.
Okay,
because
all right.
I got to get this off my chest.
Okay.
Trey Sermon,
Okay.
the just shocker of Sunday, was just designated out, just not playing. Not playing. It was going to be Raheem Mostert and JaMychal Hasty and the other rookie who was drafted 3 rounds after Trey Sermon, Elijah Mitchell.
6th-round rookie.
All off season long, all camp, and in the preseason, we've been hearing about how Trey Sermon is the number 2 back there. He's going to be splitting work with Raheem Mostert. He's getting drafted in the 6th, 7th round of leagues.
Yeah.
People expecting big things. And come Sunday morning, with no advance notice at all, we hear, Trey Sermon is a healthy scratch today.
Your guess is as good as mine. And everyone else's, apparently, about what happened.
On top of that, Brandon Ayuk, star receiver of the San Francisco 49ers. Mimers.
The Mimers.
Oh, I'm flustered. Thanks a lot, Kyle Shanahan. Star receiver, 1st-round pick last year, who tore it up. Deebo Samuel's absences. Just doesn't play. Apparently dropped down the depth chart underneath Trent Sherfield.
There's only one explanation for all of this, Ben.
What is that? I need some reassurance here because I got these guys in several places.
It's only one explanation. And we've heard it before. We've seen this before. It's the Shanahanigans are back. The Shanahanigans are back.
I can't take it. Kyle please.
Shanahan, only man that knows what's going on and what's going to happen out there.
But why? Why would you do this to us?
Because he can. And he wins a lot of the time.
We all counted on you to play more of your studs. But I guess he didn't need to, not against the Detroit Lions.
There came a point where it looked like he was really going to have some egg on his face.
Yeah.
Lions just making a massive comeback towards the end.
That was fantastic.
That was one of the few times I was cheering on the Lions ever.
Yep. As a Seahawks fan,
yes.
I can understand why you would do that.
Go Lions, go!
Come on, take them down.
Come on, Jared Goff.
Do it, buddy.
Sling that rock.
Do it, buddy.
My friend. But it was, 49ers per bit. Was that more of a recap or was that just a vent right there that you needed?
That was more of a vent, but slash recap,
Okay. Just get it out. Just get it out real quick. Let it go.
I did.
You did.
I did indeed.
Well, let's start off with a Thursday night game first. How about that?
Well, there's Thursday night.
That was a pretty good kickoff to the NFL season. I might add as well.
So. Absolutely.
We had some fantasy studs in that game and a couple of disappointments as well.
44-year-old Tom Brady still has it.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. The Buccaneers ended up winning 31-29 over the boys. And like I said, fantasy points abound all over this game. And some big-time players kind of skunked out on some people.
Oh, Ezekiel Elliott
only 4.9 points.
Although a lot of people kind of saw this coming. The Buccaneers were one of the best rushing defenses in the NFL last year.
I was going to temper my expectations, but I don't know if I figured 11 carries for 33 yards and 2 catches for 6 yards.
The game plan just wasn't even to run.
No.
It was just pass.
Yeah, it was to keep up with Tom Brady.
I mean, Zeke actually looked pretty good for what he got, and in blocking, pass protection, he looked pretty good. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. If you can go buy low on Zeke, I would say do that.
Yes. And it appears that you have Ezekiel Elliott in our big league.
As a Zeke owner, I'm not panicking.
I can't buy low on him?
Nope.
Oh,
no, you cannot.
Dak Prescott and Tom Brady both put up 27 points each. Pretty awesome. Running backs didn't really do a whole lot in this game on either side of the ball. Fournette, just 8 points. Zeke, 4 points. Pollard had 6. Ronald Jones burned some people. 4 carries, 14 yards, and 1 fumble. He had negative 0.6 points.
Negative.
That's rough.
You don't like that.
No, you don't.
Not even a little bit.
Wide receivers went off. Amari Cooper, 32 points. CeeDee Lamb, 19 points. Antonio Brown, 21 points. Chris Godwin, 19 points.
Yep.
And then a couple people left on the outside looking in. Michael Gallup, he kind of got hurt. He was rolling there for a little bit, though.
He looked pretty good.
Ended up with 5 points before he went out with injury. And then Mike Evans, just... I watched that game, and there were a number of plays where... it was just barely off. The throw was just barely off before he made a catch. Or it just got tipped a little bit and changed the trajectory, and it threw Mike Evans off. So Mike Evans, unfortunately, I think we're going to see this throughout the year with this trio of wide receivers with the Buccaneers. Somebody's just going to end up not having the great game. So,
well, I don't think your bold prediction of 3 1,000-yard receivers on the Cowboys is going to come true now with Gallup being injured.
No, probably not, unless he just goes...
could be Cedric Wilson.
Superhero.
Could be Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, maybe it's somebody that didn't even guess.
One week in, and my Goldilocks picks are doing perfect.
Doing good?
Doing perfect.
Doing good?
Antonio Brown playing above where he was drafted. Chris Godwin right in there. And Mike Evans, you were taking him too early. 1 week. That's my 1 week victory lap right there.
There you go. Revel in it. Speaking of which, my bold prediction with Fitzpatrick going down, I just realized.
Dang.
That's going to take a hit.
Gosh, I hate seeing bold predictions not come true after 1 week.
1 week.
Good grief.
Rob Gronk had 2 touchdowns. He looked like vintage Gronk.
Yeah, still got it.
25 points. Excellent start.
Yep.
And, anything else for that game? Anything that concerned you?
He and Brady connected for their 100th touchdown together.
That was pretty good.
So that's crazy.
It was pretty good.
Yep. Next game, we had the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. And, let's not dive too deep into these, but we saw Miles Sanders had a pretty good game. Kenneth Gainwell got a touchdown.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
That was shocking.
Took over the...
Boston Scott didn't do anything.
Yeah.
This was another one that was just kind of sounded like Boston Scott was going to split the carries.
Just weird. Weird stuff, man.
Kenny Gainwell coming out there. Jalen Hurts had himself a day.
Oh, yeah.
And Devontae Smith is that guy, the Slim Reaper. He's the guy there. And then Jalen Reagor is number 2.
Caught all 6 of his passes.
Yep. Goddard.
Actually, no. Devontae caught 6 of 8.
6 of 8.
Yep. For 71 and a touchdown.
Reagor 6 of 6 for 49 and a touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Goddard 42 yards and a touchdown. Ertz, 34 yards, caught both of his targets, then went out with calf strain.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Or hamstring strain.
Hamstring strain. So hopefully he comes back all right if you were drafting him late. But Falcons side of the ball, not much happening.
That was ugly all around.
It was just gross. Calvin Ridley held to 51 yards, 5 receptions on 8 targets. Matt Ryan just... brutal.
Yucky.
Brutal.
Nasty looking game from the Falcons.
Mike Davis was meh. If you plugged him into a flex spot, then he got you not game or week winning numbers, that's for sure. But
no, that whole offense was kind of stuck in the mud. So hopefully something changes next week. Some adjustments need to be made, apparently. So
yep.
Next game, we had the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Buffalo Bills. Steelers end up winning 23-16, which was kind of surprising. A little bit.
Yep. Interesting.
Josh Allen held in check relatively, only had 17 points. I don't know. Just didn't really have too many humongous plays like we've been seeing from last year. So
no, that Pittsburgh defense is pretty good, though.
Yeah, they had Allen kind of moving all around the field, rushing him to make passes. So couldn't really give him enough time to see things develop down the field for Stephon Diggs. Roethlisberger, kind of the same thing, really held in check, only threw for 1 touchdown.
Yep.
Wide receivers, Deontay Johnson, caught a touchdown.
Double-digit targets again.
Double-digit targets, had 12
Keep
points.
seeing that PPR monster, man.
Stephon Diggs had 14 targets.
Oh, yeah.
Ended up with 11 points. Claypool ended up with 8. Gabe Davis ended up with 11 points. He caught himself a touchdown as well. Juju just kind of did Juju things. 4 catches for 52 yards. Nothing too crazy. Surprising thing, Zach Moss. Healthy scratch.
Yeah, that was another one.
Another one.
That was
just super weird.
That was a Shanahan coming from the Buffalo Bills there.
A lot of people speculated that Zach Moss was going to be the lead back of this committee, and turns out, apparently not.
Devin Singletary looked too good in the preseason, man. I'm telling you.
I guess so. Just very surprising.
Glad we drafted him in the Megala Bowl that the fantasy footballers put on.
That we did.
Yep.
I didn't start him this week, but halfway happy that I at least have him anyways.
No, I played him in there,
will
but
need him.
Aaron Rodgers did not help me at all.
Did you lose your first week of the Megala Bowl?
I did.
Oh.
Yeah, it was rough.
I stomped my guy.
Oh, good. Good on you. Good on you.
Yes, moving up. Big time performance from the Steelers D, though. 20 points. 16 points allowed, 3 sacks, 4 forced fumbles.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And a touchdown. So they dominated this game. They were the big time key player for this game.
I think the Buffalo Bills are bouncing back strong this next week. Next game was the New York Jets against the Carolina Panthers. We saw Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold both have decent days there. Sam Darnold looking better with no Adam Gase around.
I mean...
I'm just saying.
He didn't look worse, I'll say that.
It helps when you got Christian McCaffrey in the backfield who catches 9 of 9 targets for 89 yards and then rushes the ball 21 times for 98 yards. Is the highest scoring or second to highest scoring running back on the week with no touchdowns. CMC doing CMC things.
Yep.
Zach Wilson threw 2 touchdowns for 258 yards, had 1 interception. And then ran in a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, he did.
So Zach Wilson looking pretty good, the rook.
He's looking spry
Hopefully,
out there.
Mekhi Becton being out doesn't hurt too bad.
Yeah.
Corey Davis is that guy for Zach Wilson.
Yes, he is.
2 touchdowns, 5 receptions, 97 yards. Looking legit. Running backs for the Jets still looking like Adam Gase is there.
Yep. I think it's just... Until they find who they want to lean on, I mean, there was nobody that really stood out in that game for them.
Yucky. All right, next one.
Did you go over any of the Carolina wide receivers?
Oh, I guess Robbie Anderson caught a big touchdown.
DJ Moore had 6 of 8 catches for 80 yards. So, I mean, nothing too crazy, I guess, other than that big touchdown from Robbie.
Terrace Marshall out targeting Robbie Anderson.
Another weird thing. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
He goes out and signs a 2-year extension and then gets three tosses his way. I don't know.
Try to trade Robbie Anderson off the big play.
Maybe. Or wait for another big... I'm sure there's going to be more big weeks from Robbie Anderson. Probably a bigger one.
If you lost Raheem Mostert and you need a running back... Maybe try to trade Robbie Anderson plus for, one of those underperforming running backs.
Oh, you could be right. That could be an idea.
Probably won't work in our leagues, but there are leagues out there that might work in. So,
man, that's a good idea. I'm gonna write that down.
You should do that.
Jeez. All right. Next game, we have the Minnesota Vikings going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. This was actually a close one. Bengals came out with the win 27-24 over the Vikings. Overtime win. Yeah, that's right. Field goal kicking overtime win. Mm-hmm. Kirk Cousins and Joe Burrow had all right days. Both Cousins threw for over 300 yards and Burrow was only 261, but both threw for a couple of touchdowns, had all right days. Mm-hmm. Dalvin Cook doing Dalvin Cook things. Joe Mixon, 29 carries.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon. Wow. Yeah.
He's going to be a workhorse this year.
He looked solid this last week.
So hopefully he could stay healthy and continue that trend. Adam Thielen picking up where he left off last year. 9 catches for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. Pretty solid day. Jamar Chase came out and caught the football.
Yeah, hey.
Catching some bombs.
The demise of Jamar Chase was greatly exaggerated. However that saying goes.
It had some people scared. I will say that. T. Higgins caught a touchdown as well. Justin Jefferson had kind of a mediocre type day. 5 catches for 71 yards. And yeah, that was about it, really.
Yep, not bad. Your studs were pretty much your studs.
For the most part.
There. All right, San Francisco 49ers, Shanahanigans himself going up against the Detroit Lions, who almost came back in this game.
Fourth quarter came around and they turned on the afterburners just a little too late.
Jared Goff just balling out. Wow. 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, one of the top scoring quarterbacks on the week right there. Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift both just doing great things for you.
Oh, yeah.
You would have been well off starting both of them.
Both 20-plus point fantasy performances.
My goodness. After a report coming out that DeAndre Swift was not going to be the starter, Jamal Williams would be taking most of the workload. Yeah, well, Shanahanigans from the other side of the field. Quintez Cephas was the lone wide receiver there that caught a touchdown. And then TJ Hawkinson, 10 targets, 8 receptions, 97 yards, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. Hawkinson might be legit.
Doing what we thought was going to happen. He's going to get mass volume.
There was some insane percentage of targets that went to just the running backs and tight end from the Detroit Lions there. So,
which Jared Goff liked to do. That's what he showed over there with the Rams. So.
Exactly. And they just don't have receivers.
Yeah, that as well.
Elijah Mitchell, rookie running back, kind of taken over after Raheem Mostert went down, went off for 104 yards, a touchdown. Garoppolo had a mediocre day, 314 yards and a touchdown, fumbled once. Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Had himself a day.
189 yards and a touchdown. Did fumble once, but,
it happens.
Still did okay. George Kittle getting 4 receptions for 78 yards. He catches a touchdown in there, and you're thinking, okay, vintage Kittle performance. So,
that's a floor play.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, if that's the floor I'm getting from Kittle,
that's all right.
I'm going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Next one.
We got the Jacksonville Jaguars went up against the Houston Texans in a surprising...
Houston Texans Super Bowl champs.
Oh, my goodness.
2021.
Texans spanked the Jaguars.
Deshaun Watson.
Everyone counted them out. And look at that. They're doing the exact opposite of what they need to do. They need to be losing to get high picks. But
my spot start of the Jaguars defense in several leagues did not help.
Didn't pan out, Cotton.
Not at all.
Oh, man. Tyrod Taylor had himself a pretty good day, actually, all things considered. Threw for almost 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, but also had 3 interceptions. Kind of ugly with that catch-up mode. Mark Ingram, the running back trio for the actually quartet of the Houston Texans. Mark Ingram with 26 carries for 85 yards and a touchdown.
Grief.
Holy moly.
Mark Ingram still got it, I guess.
Apparently, he's going to be their
Jacksonville.
Their leading stud. David Johnson had an okay day. He caught a touchdown pass. Philip Lindsay ran one in as well. Rex Burkhead was the one.
Oh, sorry, Rex.
Got left holding the bag at the end. Brandon Cooks. Doing Brandon Cooks things, catching bombs, 132 yards on 5 catches.
Vintage Brandon Cooks performance.
Brandon Cooks. Danny Amendola catches 5 of 5 for 34 yards and a touchdown.
Still doing his thing.
Whatever, just came out of nowhere.
Man.
On the Jaguars side of the ball, man, it was kind of ugly all over. James Robinson, 5 carries for 25 yards and 3 catches for 29 yards. Like, what in the world?
Carlos Hyde had more carries, and people were worried about this with Urban Meyer.
What? Yeah. Urban Meyer, man. You better figure your stuff out, and quick.
The USC job is open.
Oh, man. Gross. Marvin Jones had an all right day. So did DJ Chark. They both caught a touchdown. LaVisca, mediocre day, but... like you said, if he catches a touchdown, that's a pretty good day from LaVisca for you. So That's about it for those guys.
Trevor Lawrence in his first NFL start there, 3 touchdowns.
Do you know that's his first regular season loss
ever? I know, that's insane.
That includes high school and college.
That's
going
ridiculous.
Into it. Ever.
Oh, wild stuff, man. All right. Alex's Seattle Seahawks against the Indianapolis Colts won 28-16. And Russell Wilson's cooking again.
Oh, yes,
He's
he is.
cooking again.
Chef Russ.
Oh, man. 254 yards and 4 touchdowns. Carson Wentz had a decent day, 251 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trying to keep up with Russ there. Chris Carson had a decent day as well, 91 yards on 16 carries, 26 yards on 3 receptions. Jonathan Taylor, decent day. If he gets a touchdown again, that's
he had the volume.
Real good day. He did have the volume. 17 carries, 56 yards, 6 receptions,
which surprising.
60 yards. Yeah, that's what you like to see out of Jonathan Taylor right there.
You want to talk about someone you can go buy low on? Try to go buy low on Jonathan Taylor if you can.
Absolutely, yeah. With him not putting up a monster performance in week 1, maybe try to go get him. Nyheim Hines got work too. 9 carries, 34 yards, and 6 receptions as well for 48 yards. Mm-hmm. Zach Pascal, 2 touchdowns.
Yep. You saw that coming.
Good grief. No, because I traded him to Matt in the Dynasty League,
yeah, that's
and
right.
otherwise I would have just been dropping him. So,
yep.
Wow. He put up 18 fantasy points in half PPR. Tyler Lockett. Lockett. There he is, putting up one of his 3 massive games.
Oh, yeah. This is the first one.
100 yards, 2 touchdowns. DK Metcalf ended up having a decent day with 60 yards and a touchdown. Gerald Everett caught a touchdown there. Only 2 receptions for 20 yards, so beware of the up-and-down performance that's going to come from him.
I told you, Gerald Everett.
You did. You did indeed.
Yes, yes.
All right, that'll do it for that one.
One last thing. Michael Pittman kind of had a disappointing day.
Oh, yeah, he
3
did.
catches for 29 yards on 4 targets. So hopefully whatever happened there gets fixed.
We'll see if the cream rises.
I hope it does. Arizona Cardinals going up against the Titans. This was a surprising finish. Cardinals spanked the Titans 38-13. Yeah, the Titans just looked out of sync everywhere.
Man.
I mean, it looked bad. And the Cardinals they stepped on the gas.
That Cardinals D-line looking legit.
Goodness gracious.
With J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones. 5 sacks for Chandler Jones.
Yeah, that's a season for a lot of DNs.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's
in
wild.
One game. Kyler Murray went off he usually does. 289 yards, 4 touchdowns. 5 carries for 20 yards and a touchdown as well. 33 fantasy points. Goodness gracious. Tannehill, very mediocre day. 212 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and had 2 carries for 17 yards and a touchdown and had 2 fumbles. You could tell that pressure was getting to him. Chase Edmonds, mediocre day as well. 12 carries, 63 yards, and caught 4 of 4 for 43 yards. Derrick Henry, disappointing day. I mean, you could say that's kind of the floor, but 17 carries for 58 yards. He just didn't really rip off one of those classic long runs. So,
Yep.
yeah, kind of a bummer day for Derrick Henry. He also caught 3 of 4 targets, so not bad for 19 yards. DeAndre Hopkins doing what DeAndre Hopkins does. 6 catches, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns. Vintage DeAndre Hopkins day.
Yep.
A.J. Brown got his 4 catches for 49 yards and a touchdown. Kind of one of those floor days as well for A.J. Brown. Mm-hmm. Christian Kirk, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. Holy cow.
Another piece I traded to Matt.
Yeah, I don't think
that was one of those. If I don't trade him off, I'm just going to have to drop him with what I was getting back. So
yeah, man. AJ Green looked terrible out there. 2 catches for 25 yards on 6 targets. Ugh, gross.
Yeah.
Rondale Moore was kind of held in check. 4 catches on 5 targets for 68 yards. And then speaking of being held in check, Julio Jones, 3 catches on 6 targets for 29 yards.
Yeah,
disappointing day.
Not a good day for Julio.
Kind of seemed like there was some frustration as well. Couple of silly penalties from Julio that Coach Vrabel talked about after the game. So
he did not like it.
He did not like that one bit. So
yeah, not good.
Not good.
All right, next matchup that we had, the Los Angeles Chargers against the Washington football team, where we saw Fitzmagic go down with that hip injury, unfortunately. And Taylor Heineke, who some people preach is the truth.
Did you say Heineken?
Heineken. Not a sponsor.
Oh.
Came in and did throw a touchdown there, got 10.5 fantasy points. And Justin Herbert kind of kept in check there. Didn't really have himself much of a day.
Threw for over 300 yards, just,
one touchdown, an interception, and a fumble, so that didn't help you.
Mm-hmm.
Lost probably about 4 points in typical scoring there. Austin Eckler came out after a big concern about his hamstring over this last week. Came out, rushed 15 times, got 57 yards and a touchdown, so kind of a floor day for Eckler. Antonio Gibson, kind of a floor day for him as well. 90 yards, 18 yards receiving.
Not one catch for Eckler, too. That was a little bit weird.
That's the really weird part.
Yeah.
No
just another
receptions for
week
him.
one weirdness.
Yep. Larry Roundtree looking like the number 2 guy there. Rookie Larry Roundtree.
He looked good, too.
Yep. 8 carries, 27 yards. Mike Williams caught the touchdown from Herbert there. 82 yards, and then Keenan Allen getting targeted, 13 targets, and then 12 targets to Mike Williams as well.
Yeah.
9 receptions for Allen and 100 yards. McLaurin didn't really have that great of a day. Made a spectacular catch that went, I thought it was picked, and it just all of a sudden was in McLaurin's chest. 62 yards, 4 receptions there. I'd expect a little bit more out of McLaurin. I saw a crazy stat today that in his 32 games played, I think Matthew Berry tweeted this out. Maybe he got it from somebody else, but in his 32 games played, this is going to be the 10th starting quarterback or something that he's lined up with. So he's averaging a new quarterback like every 3 games, basically.
Wild.
Which is just ridiculous.
Wild.
So, feel sorry for Terry McLaurin there.
Yeah.
Logan Thomas caught a touchdown, got 30 yards, and then Jared Cook saw 8 targets, 5 receptions for 56 yards. So pretty good for tight end plays there if you're streaming the position.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing? So, what are you doing with Washington players now that Fitzpatrick is down? I mean, he was going to be the lead of this high-flying kind of offense. He's that gunslinger mentality. But now with Heineke, what are you doing with guys like Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, Logan Thomas? What are you doing with these guys?
I'm definitely tempering my expectations. I'm going to expect more of a rely on the defense and then game manage sort of game plan.
Are you looking to move them? Try trade them? Try and flip them if you can? Or what do you think?
If you can, I probably would. Just trying to flip them on their name alone, and maybe if people are still riding some of the preseason hype, if you can do that, I would try to, but none of them really had decent. I mean, they only had decent days. Like, they all had floor performances this last week, so it'd be a hard time to try and move them.
Trying to think of somebody like, I don't know, like Antonio Gibson or, I don't know, somebody that kind of struggled a little bit. I mean,
Kareem Hunt?
Oof, man. That is gross. Antonio Gibson or Kareem Hunt? I'm still going
Probably
Antonio
go
Gibson.
Antonio Gibson.
How about Antonio Gibson or Zeke Elliott?
No. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Zeke.
Antonio Gibson or Saquon?
I'll probably stick with Saquon.
Antonio Gibson or Miles Sanders?
Ooh.
After his week.
Sanders had a decent week. Philadelphia looked pretty good. That's a tough one. Probably stick with Gibson. I do expect that he's going to keep getting his run and maybe even get some more looks in the passing game from Heineke.
Like maybe they'll, instead of relying on the offense coming from Fitzpatrick at the quarterback spot, maybe they're going to rely on it's going to come out of the backfield with McLaurin and Gibson then.
Yeah, I would say that the one that I would probably feel safest with keeping would be Antonio Gibson.
So you try to move McLaurin if you could?
Probably.
Oof.
I don't know.
McLaurin or Antonio Brown
Heineke
right now.
could surprise us all. He almost kept up with the Super Bowl champs last year in the playoffs. So,
McLaurin or Antonio Brown?
Oh, Antonio Brown.
Oh,
Dude,
oh man!
I am not a big Antonio Brown fan, but
what you saw this Thursday?
We talked about it in the preseason, and I think that he was being drafted too low, and I do think that he's got that connection with Tom Brady, and I think he's going to be probably the most steady receiver there for the Buccaneers.
On one team that I have him, I can't figure out a way to get him into my lineup. And if I get him in there, I'm going to be sitting somebody like a DK Metcalf, and I don't know how I can do it.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's a tough spot to be in, but
enjoy that.
But Terry McLaurin,
the 1 week you do start him, he's not going to do jack.
I know it. Oh man!
And then you'll be afraid to put him in there the rest of the time.
So was that an easy one for you then, Antonio Brown, Terry McLaurin? I'm just trying to help these people out here that just...
I'm bought in on Antonio Brown, and I don't just... all personal stuff aside, just from a fantasy football standpoint, I'm in on Antonio Brown.
So how about Terry McLaurin or Jamar Chase, who just had a good week?
Ooh. I'm probably still sticking with Terry.
Okay.
There.
Okay. So that's pretty close then in that realm.
That was pretty close though after what I saw from Jamar Chase, but I don't want to overreact. So probably going to stick with McLaurin.
So kind of in that realm then, people. Just kind of consider stuff. I mean, Terry McLaurin, the guy's a stud. You know, he's going to figure it out.
I just don't know what to expect from Heineke.
And do they go out and get somebody if Heineke doesn't? I mean, like a Cam Newton, which I would not be happy if they did.
I would not either. That's what I've been speculating is,
or Nick Foles,
Cam Newton going there. I don't know if I see him trading for Nick Foles, but that maybe
Deshaun.
I don't know if they have the capital or want to give up the capital for that.
With Fitzpatrick, the thing is, with Fitzpatrick with this team, I mean, people were saying it, dark horse Super Bowl contender, right?
I know.
They are a win now. I don't know, man. I kind of halfway see them as they could be potentially a player for a guy like Deshaun. And if not this year, next year for sure.
Yeah.
And maybe even Rodgers, too. Who knows if he's up and ready to leave town. I mean, imagine sticking Rodgers on this team.
No, man. Yeah.
Jeez. Anyways, we digress a long ways. People,
hey, that's okay.
Sorry, but,
they need to hear it.
People want to hear answers for that.
That is exactly what we're here for.
At least I've been kind of scratching my head. I've got some...
well, I hope I helped you out.
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
I'll give you some more faith in Antonio Brown.
Maybe I'll put him on the block, see what I can get.
Well, there you go. I started him over T. Higgins in our League of Record, or League of Origin, and
that panned out well for you.
That did. I mean, T. Higgins. I should have probably played T. Higgins over Jerry Jeudy at that point, but you can't foresee injury there. And I mean, is what it is. All right,
next one.
Oh,
this was a good game.
This was a real fun game, and I knew it was going to be Cleveland Browns against the Kansas City Chiefs there, and. I mean, on the Chiefs side, we just saw the Chiefs do Chiefs things.
Oh, yeah. It kind of took a little bit. It kind of took a half to get up to speed, but then once they knocked the rust off, they were high flying, that's for sure.
Yeah, I thought the Browns were taking this game, but they did what the Chiefs do. They'll start down, and then they just come back.
Browns came out hot, too.
Yeah, they did. They were feeling it.
Yeah.
It was awesome. As a Broncos fan,
you're marching around the house just saying, Nick Chubb, Nick Chubb.
I was indeed, absolutely. Now, I need to get Chubb back in several places, and people need to quit taking him from me in drafts because it highly upsets me.
Man.
But anyway, Patrick Mahomes throws for 3 touchdowns, rushes a touchdown in. Tyreek Hill, we saw him catch a bomb touchdown, almost gets 200 yards, and Tyreek Hill does Tyreek Hill things. Travis Kelce, again, number 1 tight end, just perennially the number 1 tight end, catches 2 touchdown passes gets 76 yards. And on the Browns side, Baker Mayfield, I mean, was looking solid throughout most of the game, didn't throw any touchdowns or anything, but was doing what he had to do until the very end there when he was getting tackled, falling down, and it looked like he tried to throw out of bounds, but the ball just, as he was falling, ended up going directly to the defender.
Yeah, that was a bad
got
one.
picked, and that was the end of the game. But, I mean, for the most part, though, Mayfield looked pretty good. Nick Chubb.
No touchdowns, though, from Mayfield.
No touchdowns. That's because,
not a good sign.
No, well, that's because his two running backs were taking all the
running them all
touchdowns. So, and that's what they do. That's what you expect from the Browns. I mean, they are a run-first team, and when you've got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt in your backfield, why not?
Why not?
Nick Chubb, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did have a costly fumble, unfortunately. 2 receptions for 18 yards. And then Kareem Hunt had 6 carries, 33 yards, and a rushing touchdown, as well as a 2-point conversion. 3 receptions for 28 yards. And then Odell Beckham was kind of a surprise.
The coaches all week long were being real cryptic about him, and then sure enough, he's ruled out for Sunday. So it was surprising, but not at the same time. You knew something was up.
Yeah, probably for the best to keep him out there and just let him continue to recover and just make sure that he's absolutely ready to go. Yep. So Jarvis Landry had 2 carries for 13 yards, a touchdown. That was a rushing touchdown for Jarvis. That's right. Mm-hmm. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then 5 receptions for 71 yards. And then the rookie, Anthony Schwartz.
Caught a couple of deep bombs.
Yeah, made his presence known. This guy's a track star, man. I was paying attention to this kid in high school because he was running track. And
Schwartz
was this is a legit, like, could have probably been an Olympian, sort of, or close to it, at least running at that elite level. So it was fun to watch him out there after having watched him at some track meets in high school and doing some of that youth stuff. But 3 receptions for 69 yards, had a carry for 17 yards. And the Peoples Jones, 1 reception for 4 yards.
The Peoples
a lot of people were pegging him for a good fill-in.
His first name is
Donovan. Donovan the Peoples Jones.
Oh,
his middle name is the.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it.
Because he is the Peoples Jones.
Right on.
But yeah, a lot of people were pegging him for a sneaky plug-in with Odell out potentially. But David Njoku actually had a pretty decent day. 76 yards there. Austin Hooper, 3 receptions, 27 yards. Yeah.
Edwards-Helaire, kind of a disappointing day, too, from Edwards-Helaire.
About Edwards-Helaire.
14 carries for 43 yards. Yeah, see, the people that don't have big numbers, you just fly right over them.
I just forget about them. No, that was a lot of what we saw from Clyde last year. Unfortunately, not many touchdowns and just kind of days.
Caught 3 catches on 3 targets for 29 yards. So I don't know if I'm an Edwards-Helaire owner. I don't know. I'm not feeling too enthused about what I saw.
Yeah. Little brutal.
Next game.
Oh, man.
Got the Miami Dolphins eked it out over the New England Patriots.
Yeah, they did.
17-16. Mac Jones almost had his NFL debut win, but just barely lost it there. But Tua and Mac Jones both kind of had real mediocre days. Tua, 202 yards and a touchdown. 1 interception and had 1 carry for 1 yard and a touchdown. A little sneaker.
Yeah, a little Tua sneak.
Mac Jones had 281 yards and 1 touchdown. Running backs, kind of the same thing. Everyone was kind of that floor day. Gaskin had 9 carries for 49 yards and then caught 5 of 5 for 27 yards. Damian Harris, 23 carries for 100 yards, was looking good. Caught a couple of catches as well for 17 yards and then had a fumble.
Yep.
And Belichick was not happy about that.
Old Bill.
He let the media know, too, that he was not pleased.
Yep. Ramondre Stevenson in that same boat.
Yep. The rookie kind of made a splash in the preseason, fumbled, was in the doghouse the rest of the time. He didn't come back out on the field.
Yeah, if you thought Ramondre Stevenson might be sneaky, which I did for a little bit.
You could probably cut him.
I'm kind of off that boat now.
Yeah.
If you're holding on to him,
You could probably cut him.
Probably going to just get rid of that.
Let him go. The wide receivers kind of made some noise. Jalen Waddle, 4 catches for 61 yards and a touchdown. Pretty good day. Nelson Aguilar, 5 catches on 7 targets for 72 yards and a touchdown. Solid day for Aguilar. Devontae Parker, 4 catches on 7 targets for 81 yards. And then Jacoby Myers, 6 catches on 9 targets for 44 yards. So Will Fuller served his game suspension, so he will be back for Miami next week.
I think that might put the nail in the coffin for Devontae Parker there.
I think so as well. So
don't ride.
Plan accordingly, people.
Parker looking decent in week 1 because Will Fuller's going to be back.
Exactly. And then Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry kind of ate into each other. Jonnu, 5 catches for 42 yards, and Henry, 3 catches for 31 yards. I think that's going to be a whole lot of that all year, unfortunately.
And Mike Gesicki is back.
0 catches on 2 targets. Like, what in the world?
He's done this to us before.
Oh, man.
Where you start always thinking, Gesicki's going to be a good ad. He's going to be a good pickup and do good things for you. And then he comes out and gets you 0 points. Not good. Not good at all.
He'll go off for like 40 points.
Oh, he absolutely will because that's what he does.
What Gesicki does.
Oh, man, this game was...
This was probably the surprising game of the week.
My goodness. There's the conspiracy theory out here now that Aaron Rodgers is just trying to stick it to the Packers organization.
Just throwing the
by
games.
Just being bad. I don't think I buy that. But
I don't think so either, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised by anything.
Nope. The Green Bay Packers lost to the New Orleans Saints, the now Jameis Winston-led New Orleans Saints, 38-3, and Aaron Rodgers threw for 133 yards and 2 interceptions. Yuck.
Stellar day.
Yuck. Aaron Jones, 5 carries for 9 yards, 2 catches for 13 yards. Like, what? This AJ Dillon, not much better. Devontae Adams had 56 of those 133 yards that Aaron Rodgers threw. Not good. Just ugly all around. All around. This was like the below floor performance for these guys.
This is abysmal for the Green Bay Packers.
I think it just got to a certain point where it was just like, okay, we're whatever. Jameis Winston goes off, just hyper efficient day against the Packers there. 148 yards is all he had, but 5 touchdown passes.
Sounds like Jameis a little bit.
With who are the receivers there? We don't know.
Oh, you want to know him? Juwan Johnson. Heard of him before?
Oh, man. 2 touchdowns?
On 21 yards? Yeah. No. Oh, Deontay Harris?
Yeah.
I had to even look at...
He's a good kick returner.
Yeah, 72 yards on and 1 touchdown on 2 catches. Chris Hogan?
Oh, man.
He had a touchdown.
The lacrosse player?
1 catch, 10 yards, touchdown.
Jeez. The one guy that everybody was pegging for being a good play, Marquez Callaway, shadowed by Jair Alexander, caught 1 ball for 14 yards.
Woo!
Because, of course.
Woo!
Week 1, baby.
Yep.
Week 1. Adam Troutman did not get in on the party. 18 yards on 3 receptions. Alvin Kamara did Alvin Kamara things. Mm-hmm. Yep. 20 carries, 83 yards.
About the one piece of this offense that you can fully guarantee is going to get his.
Oh, man. And, yeah. Taysom didn't see a whole lot of Taysom Hill, really.
No. I mean, he was weird. 1 completion for 3 yards and 2 carries for 1 yard. So,
yeah.
I just don't think they needed him.
No, they did not. We're going to save the sneaky
Save
Taysom
the Jack
packages
in the Box for later.
For next week. So that was a wild game.
Just a weird game. Week 1. That was the epitome of week 1 right there.
Week 1, baby. Week 1. Welcome to the NFL 2021.
Next game, we got the Denver Broncos going up against the New York Giants. Ben's Broncos victorious over the Giants, 27-13.
Let's go, Denver.
Teddy Bridgewater, he looked all right. He completed 28 of 36 attempts for 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, and had a couple of carries as well.
Oh, yeah.
Not too bad.
Oh, go Teddy B.
Daniel Jones on the other side of the ball. 267 yards, a touchdown, 6 carries for 27 yards and a touchdown, but also recorded a fumble. Pretty typical Daniel Jones.
Yep. Just sounds like Daniel Jones.
Just kind of gross. The running backs for the game here, Melvin Gordon ripped off a big-time run, like a 70-plus yard run.
75-yard rush, I believe.
Ended up with 11 carries for 101 yards and a touchdown, and also caught 3 balls for 17 yards. Melvin Gordon still showing he's got it, man.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Absolutely.
Don't put him away. Saquon Barkley, really disappointing day. 10 carries, 26 yards, and then 1 catch for 1 yard.
Yeah.
I don't think he's right yet.
You should have expected kind of a down day from Saquon Barkley, kind of one of those things of if you drafted him, you likely have to play him. But they did talk about limiting his workload in week 1. And if you pay attention to defenses, Denver's defense is pretty stout. So
the D line is pretty darn good.
That defense overall right now just is on paper looks real good, and against the Giants look pretty good. So,
rookie for the Broncos, Javonte Williams had 14 carries for 45 yards, and then caught 1 ball for -4 yards. So he took a back seat.
He did, but he looked explosive. If you watch the carries that he took, he actually looked pretty quick, pretty explosive, made some really good, strong cuts. But Melvin Gordon just happened to get that long 70-yarder for the touchdown there. But it was a pretty dead even 50-50 split. When you look at the snaps that they each got, I think it was pretty much dead even. I think
Gordon had 11 carries and Javonte had 14, so very, very similar.
Yep, 50-50 for those guys. So you can count on both of them playing probably between that 10 to 16, 17 carry range each week.
Most of the wide receivers here had a pretty mediocre day except for one. I'll give you a guess who it was, man.
Definitely Cortland Sutton.
Nope.
No. Jerry Jeudy.
Nope.
Kenny Golladay.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I'm at a loss.
Sterling Shepard.
Oh, good.
113 yards for a touchdown. So
yeah, I traded him to Matt because I was good.
20 plus fantasy points. Welcome to week 1.
Let's just Zach Pascal, Christian Kirk, Sterling Shepard. I traded all 3 of them to Matt because I otherwise would have had to drop them. All 3 of them.
You should have dropped them.
All 3 of them just went off.
You should have dropped them.
I should have.
Oh, man.
Luckily, you didn't play them against me.
So that's true. No kidding.
That's good.
Sterling Shepard, though, I think people were just kind of sleeping on him in the preseason. He's still a very good football player. Kenny Golladay, 4 catches for 64 yards.
He made some outstanding catches.
Yeah, Golladay did.
He had some outstanding receptions.
And I think he's still trying to get on the same page with Daniel Jones. So hopefully as the season progresses, we're going to see some better days from Golladay. Slayton, 3 catches, 65 yards. On the other side of the ball, Tim Patrick was the leading wide receiver here, fantasy points wise.
Yep.
4 catches, 39 yards. He caught that touchdown there. Jerry Jeudy, 6 catches and 72 yards before he went down with an injury.
Oh, like we said, looking so good too.
Like we said, going to be out about 5 to 8 weeks.
Dang it.
KJ Hamler, 3 catches for 41 yards and dropped a guaranteed touchdown. I mean, it was about a 40 or 50 yard pass.
Oh man, yeah, it was going to be. It was probably going to be a 60-yard touchdown, and just in his basket, in the bread basket, and he just lost it.
Oh man,
oh, it made me sick. I'm so glad we won though.
And Cortland Sutton had a real disappointing day. I don't know if just some first game jitters getting back out there, but 1 catch for 14 yards.
I can't remember the name of the corner there in New York, but that was pretty stellar last year. He was actually like one of the best corners in the NFL last year, and I'm blanking on his name right now. We need Statman Kyle. Where are you?
Where are you?
Where are you, Statman? But I think he was, I can't say for sure, but I think he was covered by him quite a bit, if not shadowed. And so I think Denver just kind of game planned around that. And obviously they used Noah Fant quite a bit more. He had a pretty decent day of 6 receptions for 62 yards. And then Jerry Jeudy was looking pretty strong.
Albert O even got in.
Yeah, Albert O too. So I think Denver just kind of game planned around that, where we're bringing him back in, kind of making sure he's good to go, and he was just more of a distraction, I guess.
So with Jeudy gonna be out for a few weeks, who gets the uptick in production? Are you?
I think Tim Patrick for sure. I think he needs to be added on waivers. I don't know if you can just say plug him in and start him, but I think he's going to get more of an uptick there. But I think it bodes well for Noah Fant for sure.
You think Albert O as well?
Probably a little bit Albert O, but I think I don't know that you're going to know when to start Okwuegbunam. I think he'll be involved probably weekly, but
he'll catch a touchdown every now and again, and then maybe even have a 2-touchdown game every once in a while. So just
I
will say Teddy does like his tight ends when he gets close.
Yep, and that he does. But it'd be kind of hard to really rely on Albert O on a consistent basis. Mm-hmm. I'd rather go out and get Tim Patrick and then rely on Noah Fant.
That's true. Good point.
And Sutton.
All right, that was better. How about next game?
Next game, we got 2 more to get through here, and we've got the Chicago Bears went up against the LA Rams on Sunday night.
Matt Stafford's first game in a different uniform other than the Lions.
Wild, and he looked good. He looked real good. 20 of 26 for 321 and 3 touchdowns, and that's a pretty good day. Put up 24 fantasy points in our scoring format here. And Darrell Henderson looked solid.
Yeah, he looked good out there.
Got a good workload, too. 16 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown. Only 1 reception for 17 yards. But, he was the guy. Sony Michel had 1 carry for 2 yards. So that was good to see out of Darrell Henderson there. Cooper Kupp. Talked about it a little bit in the offseason. I know we discussed it on a few other pods, but Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford were developing a rapport very quickly in camp, and it carried over here. And Cooper Kupp, 7 receptions, 108 yards, and a touchdown. Looked strong. Van Jefferson caught a long bomb touchdown there.
Yeah, he did.
Ended with 80 yards. And then Robert Woods, he got his 3 receptions for 27 yards, had that typical Robert Woods carry, but caught a touchdown there towards the end of the game, I believe.
Yeah, better days for him coming ahead.
For sure. And then Tyler Higbee had a decent day for tight ends, 5 receptions for 68 yards.
I think he'll be a sneaky wide receiver play throughout the season, too.
Yeah, definitely. Justin Fields was interesting in this game. They had some packages that they brought him out on, and ended up starting the 4th quarter, but it was mainly the Andy Dalton show. But Fields did rush in a touchdown.
How many more games till Fields starts? I say if it's same thing after this game of what we saw this week, I think Fields starts week 3.
I'd go with that. I was going to say probably week 3, maybe week 4, but week 3 sounds good to me.
Well, week 3 they play the Browns, so maybe week 4 when they play Detroit.
Yeah, that would probably be a good one to do it.
It'd be all right.
Andy Dalton did not do well. 206 yards, an interception. David Montgomery, though, looked pretty
solid.
Darn good. 16 carries for 108 yards, had a touchdown. That's Damian Williams. Had 6 carries, 15 yards, and then 4 receptions for 28 yards. So got more of the receiving work out of the backfield there. And then Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, and Marquise Goodwin, who I actually forgot was with the Bears.
I did too, actually.
All had just mediocre days. Allen Robinson only putting up 35 yards, 6 receptions, and then Marquise Goodwin had 45 yards, 4 receptions, and Darnell Mooney, 5 receptions for 26 yards. Once Fields gets in there, I'm thinking better days ahead for the Bears.
Yeah, this offense isn't going to be fully unlocked until they get Fields in there. Somebody that can extend the plays, get out there, that's not going to be afraid to air it out right now, because I think Dalton's just playing scared. So it's kind of tough to really unlock an offense when you're playing like that.
That was a stellar defense from the Rams, too, that they're playing against. So, I mean,
there's that.
You you had to temper your expectations before this game.
Mm-hmm. Last game of the week was the Monday night game. The Ravens against the Raiders. Raiders came out with the win in the last minute there.
Wow.
And it was quite a game. Lamar Jackson, 235 yards, 1 touchdown, then 12 carries for 86 yards and had 2 fumbles. This is actually almost kind of a floor game for Lamar.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, definitely a floor game for Lamar here.
So, he got you by 18 points in our fantasy league here. I think much better days ahead for him. Derek Carr looked solid, 435 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Threw the ball 56 times.
56 times. Completed 34 of 56 attempts. I will say there was a number of times throughout the game I was just saying to myself, like, what is Derek Carr doing? Like,
Yeah.
He's throwing balls ahead of his players, over top of his players. The accuracy was off. There was a little bit of rust for some reason. So hopefully that shapes itself out here next week. Josh Jacobs looked like he got a little nicked up. I haven't heard anything officially yet about him, but keep an eye out on that. He ended up with 10 carries, 34 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Looked pretty good while he was out there. And did get the 2 touchdowns for you. So
Yeah, salvaged some people's weeks, that's for sure. Kenyon Drake, 6 carries for 11 yards and caught 5 balls for 59 yards. So I think we're going to see him more involved in the receiving game. But if Jacobs is hurt, Kenyon Drake, stock rise.
Yep, for sure.
On the other side of the ball, Tyson Williams, 9 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown. He ripped off a long 30-yard touchdown towards the beginning.
Stepped up with all the other running backs injured.
He did. Caught 3 balls as well for 29 yards. Latavius Murray, who got brought on in the middle of the week, 10 carries, 28 yards, and a touchdown. That might be the combination, is my guess, is just the Tyson and Latavius, and maybe Tyson plays the Dobbins role and Latavius plays the Gus Bus role.
Probably, yeah.
And honestly, if I'm a fantasy manager, that's what I would want.
Yep.
I don't want Le'Veon coming in. I don't want...
Not touching Le'Veon, and I'm not touching Devontae Freeman at all.
Don't even mess around with those guys. The wide receivers kind of spread all out. Marquise Hollywood Brown had a good day. 1 carry for 5 yards and then caught 6 of 6 for 69 yards and a touchdown. He looked good.
You like to see this from Hollywood.
Yeah, he looked good.
He and Lamar started to build a little bit more on that strong season they had prior. And yeah, it kind of carried over into that Monday night game. So hopefully that just continues.
Sammy Watkins, 4 catches for 96 yards. Other side of the ball, Zay Jones had 2 catches for 46 yards and a touchdown. He had that late game winner touchdown.
At the end of overtime.
Yeah, that kind of boosted his stats. Brian Edwards, 4 catches on 5 targets for 81 yards. They weren't throwing him the ball until like 2 minutes left in the game. And then all of a sudden they just started, hyper targeting him. And he couldn't drop anything.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
It's like he's good.
Yeah, it's like, why not give him the ball all the time or early in the game? I mean, he was this close from scoring the winning touchdown. It was awesome. He reached out and everything for it. I mean, it was pretty sweet. Hunter Renfrow, 6 catches for 70 yards. Henry Ruggs, man. 2 catches on 5 targets for 46 yards. What are you doing with Ruggs?
Well, I don't know, but
I've heard a lot of people today in podcasts saying they're booting him.
Yeah,
they're done with him.
He did get a little banged up there, and I don't know if there's any news or anything on him right now, but I did see on one of his long plays that he started kind of grabbing at his calf after being targeted down the field one time, and he did end up coming back in the game, but he was kind of grabbing at that calf. He limped off the field. So I don't know if after that he just kind of slowed down and just wasn't seeing much. But yeah, I don't know. He's been a disappointment for fantasy purposes.
Not a good
thus
deal.
far.
And then the tight ends, 2 star-studded tight ends facing up against each other. Darren Waller wins this round between Mark Andrews. Darren Waller doing Waller things. 10 catches on 19 targets for 105 yards and 1 touchdown. Like I said, I mean, Carr was targeting Waller early and often, and early in the game,
19 targets.
he was I mean, he was overthrowing him. He was too far ahead of him. He was too far behind him. They did not seem in sync until later in the game. And then things started to click,
Yep.
And then Mark Andrews, things just didn't really pan out for him. 3 catches for 20 yards. There's going to be much better days for Mark Andrews. Don't worry about him.
100%. Well, that is week 1, people. Week 1 wildness.
Shake it off, dust yourself off, and get ready for week 2.
That's right. All right. Well, we're going to do a lightning preview of week 2. So let's get into that. All right. Week 2 is coming up.
Week 2 on the way.
Starting on Thursday, we're going to take you real quickly through all the matchups that are happening this week and just give you a little bit of advice. Who to start.
Just a quick little...
who we're not feeling good about.
Quick little, pat on the back to... You could start him.
Just plug them in.
Just
plug them in.
Feel all right about it.
We obviously don't know exactly who is on your team or what your scoring settings are. So this I know yours.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know the people's.
The people's. Yeah. So this is just a confidence booster for you to just, we would start them as well.
Or if you're not feeling confident about somebody, you may get a little bit of a push to
steer clear.
I might sit them down. Who knows? So here we go.
Head for open waters, Tuna.
That's right. All right. Well, Alex.
First game
let's get into it.
Oh, you got a drop? No?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Let's get into it.
Let's get in. That was my drop.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was like a pause. I was like, oh, we got a new drop?
I got lost for a second there.
Let's get into it.
There you go.
We're going to get into it now. First game for week 2 is Thursday night football game. The New York football Giants going up against the Washington football team.
Yeah, that's right.
Both 0-1. Somebody's got to come out a victor.
0 and who?
0-1.
0 and who?
0
wow.
Yeah. Oh, and wow. Like we talked about earlier, Taylor Heineke going to be starting for the Washington football team.
Yep.
Probably not going to be starting him, though, if I don't absolutely have to.
Nope.
And Antonio Gibson, you're going to start him, obviously. Terry McLaurin, get him in there. Logan Thomas, I would probably start him in the tight end slot if I had him.
You probably drafted him as your starting tight end, so
you're going to fire him up.
Put him in.
Saquon Barkley. I'm going to start him. I kind of... You have to. Because you probably took him either late first or early second.
This is one that I do not feel confident on. I mean, it is Saquon Barkley. And yes, you drafted him probably in the first round.
The only way that I would not start Saquon Barkley is if I had an option that was like if I got Elijah Mitchell for this week.
Yeah.
I probably would start Elijah Mitchell over Saquon Barkley and wait a week just to see Saquon, or put Saquon in a flex or something like that and move out some second wide receiver that you have.
Yep. Unless you've got a stellar wide receiver core.
Yeah.
But I am not confident in Saquon in this matchup.
There's not very many ways that I see you getting around not starting him. So just unless you've got a superior option ahead of Saquon, you're probably starting Saquon. Kenny Golladay, I do have Golladay in a couple leagues. I'm still going to wait. I'm trying to play the matchups and give Golladay some time to build a rapport with Daniel Jones. Sterling Shepard had a stellar week last week.
Yeah.
If you're feeling lucky, ×2, you could start him if you want to, but football team has a real defense.
I'd say Golladay in a flex, and if you're in a deep league, then I'd feel okay with Shepard in a flex. I think we might see a very similar outcome with the Giants that we saw against the Broncos last week. So
everyone else, I'm staying away from.
All right, moving on. We've got the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and for the Steelers, I'm not starting Ben Roethlisberger. You probably didn't draft him as a starter, but I'm not even streaming him at this point until we see him maybe put up some more numbers. I'm going to look elsewhere for some more favorable matchups there. The Raiders aren't necessarily a stellar defense, but just not comfortable with Roethlisberger. Deontay Johnson, I'm feeling good starting him. However, he's going to get probably double-digit targets in there. Chase Claypool, if you need that high-end flex play that can just go off with big plays, then I'd feel okay putting Claypool in there. And Juju,
he's a flex play.
Yeah.
There's weeks where he can go off. Especially the Raiders. I'd do Juju.
Start Najee Harris.
For
sure.
Yeah, do that.
And then Eric Ebron, Pat Freiermuth. I'm staying away from both of them.
Yeah.
Raiders side, obviously you're starting Darren Waller. Derek Carr, I probably wouldn't.
Not against the Steelers.
Against the Steelers. I mean, he had a good game against the Ravens, but I would wait past this week. If he performs against the Steelers, then I'd start feeling more comfortable with Carr. Josh Jacobs, if he's healthy.
Just keep an eye on him. If Jacobs is limited in any way.
I'm not comfortable with him against the Steelers, though, either.
Kenyon Drake might be the better play, honestly.
Yeah, he's going to get the receiving work here. But pay attention to Jacobs. I mean, if you have him, it's kind of a Saquon boat here.
Saquon boat.
Any receivers?
No.
For the Raiders?
Nope.
I'd stay away from all of them.
Yep.
So
give him another week to prove and see if somebody starts to come out. If Bryan Edwards goes off in this week or shows another promising performance, then maybe week 3 consider him as a flex, but give him some time.
Yep. All right, next one.
San Francisco 49ers at the they're at Philadelphia. At the Philadelphia Eagles. On the 49ers side of the ball, Elijah Mitchell, he got the bulk of the carries. Trey Sermon should be active for this game, but I think Elijah Mitchell is going to get the first crack at stuff. So I would be starting Elijah Mitchell if I had him.
Take this all with a grain of salt because Shanahanigans.
Yeah, that's true. Trey Sermon, I'm probably going to wait a week to see what happens.
I'm not playing him in the League of Origin. Not going to do it.
Wait on him. Deebo Samuel, you're going to fire Deebo up for sure. Brandon Ayuk, same thing. I'm going to give Brandon Ayuk a week and let him prove it to me. George Kittle, he's a no-brain starter right there.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy G.
Trent Sherfield?
No,
flex?
I'm going to start. No, I'll pass.
Second flex?
There's better options out there.
Deep league second flex?
Better options.
All right.
Jimmy G, he's a consideration. He's more like a QB2. There's probably some better options out there, though, for you, honestly.
I'd stay away. You never know when Trey Lance is just going to take over.
Yep. Eagle side of the ball, Jalen Hurts, fire him up.
Yeah, start him.
Even against the San Francisco 49ers defense, Hurts can get you points through the air and on the ground, which in this game, you might anticipate some more groundwork. So,
Yep.
Start up Hurts. Miles Sanders, going to fire him up. He had a great week last week. Kenny Gainwell, I might just kind of wait and see if, like we said, week 1 fluke stuff. If Boston, I would not be surprised if Boston Scott comes in and gets a bunch of carries too here. So,
no, yeah.
Devonta Smith, going to start him. Jalen Reagor, he's probably a decent flex option.
I'd start Reagor in the flex.
And then Goddard, you probably don't have much a better option for tight end with Goddard. So.
Well, especially if Ertz is...
Yeah, if Ertz is limited, heck yeah, fire Goddard up. No, most definitely. And that's about it for those guys.
All right, next one, we've got the Houston Texans and the Cleveland Browns. I'm not feeling as confident in the Texans repeating what they did against the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Browns here.
What? Why not?
I'm just not going to trust it. Not going to trust it. So, on the Browns side, you are starting Nick Chubb. You're starting Kareem Hunt, most likely in a flex.
Mm-hmm. Odell, you going to wait? Well, we got to hear that he's going to be healthy to play.
Yeah, if Odell is playing, then I'll start Odell in this.
What about Jarvis?
I'll start Odell in this against the Texans. If Odell doesn't play, then I will start Jarvis confidently. Okay. If Odell plays, if you need a deep flex play, I'd feel all right with Jarvis.
Tight ends?
tight end wise,
Njoku and Hooper.
I'm probably staying away from both of them.
Yeah.
Just not sure which one to trust right now. And Baker Mayfield, if you're
desperate.
Yeah, I mean, if you drafted him to be your starting quarterback and you can't find another better streaming matchup out there,
Then you're desperate.
play Mayfield. 2 QB leagues, play Mayfield. And then on the Texans side of the ball, I'll play Brandon Cooks. And then
That's about it, confidently. I mean, honestly,
probably Mark Ingram in a flex. I guess
I could see it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would probably play Mark Ingram in a flex. He had the bulk of the carries last week. They were in a position where they were able to run the ball though because they were beating the Jaguars for that entire game.
Cleveland's got a pretty good front defensive line there,
Yeah,
so
I'm not
that might be a little more
expecting-
difficult.
Not expecting the Texans to lead from the get-go in this one.
No. All right, next game we got Denver Broncos playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. This should be a soft serve for the Broncos. Mm-hmm. Knock on fake wood, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
don't say these things. Don't put it out in the ether.
I unjinx the jinx. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Teddy Bridgewater, Trevor Lawrence. If you could find better options, I probably would. Honestly, I kind of want to see what the offense is going to look like for the Broncos with Teddy
Superflex
B.
leagues.
Superflex leagues, yeah.
2
Start 'em.
QBs, fire them up.
Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams. I'd start both of them,
Both?
honestly.
Yep, I'm good with that too.
James Robinson had a weird week. I'm still starting him, though. I mean, you kind of have to.
I think you have to.
So,
My expectations are not high.
me personally, I'm starting him. I have him in the league, so
Yeah.
I'm going to start him. So, Cortland Sutton, you're going to fire him up with Jerry Jeudy out.
Yep.
KJ Hamler could be a flex. Tim Patrick as well.
I actually feel pretty confident in Tim Patrick in this matchup.
Yeah?
I think,
Could be.
I think he'll be a good flex play for you in this one.
DJ Chark, Laviscus Chenault, and Marvin Jones.
I think you can
Roll
feel
the
good about
dice.
Marvin Jones.
Roll the dice. I
Yeah.
mean, it could be anyone, any week, honestly. So
I would feel most comfortable with Marvin Jones. I feel like.
Noah Fant as your tight end, I would start him as well, and that's about it.
Not O'Shaughnessy?
Not O'Shaughnessy.
Okay, perfect.
Nope.
Saints and Panthers here, and after what Jameis did last week, I think you can feel pretty good starting Jameis out
feel
here.
all right.
I mean,
Let's just say this: we've seen good Jameis, and then we've seen bad Jameis. So
I know we have, but
just know that
So
that,
far
that version
late-
of Jameis is still
so far LASIK Jameis is real good. So
that Jameis variant is still out there,
and
okay?
that
And you never know when he's showing up.
that's true. The TVA may show up.
Ooh.
You're starting Alvin Kamara, and otherwise,
That's about it. Yeah. Desperation flex play. Marquez Callaway.
I guess he's not going to get shadowed by Jair Alexander this time around.
Nope.
So, yeah. Panther side of the ball,
CMC.
start up CMC. You can. I don't know. Sam Darnold, 2 QB leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. I probably wouldn't start him in a 1 QB against the Saints. CMC, you're feeling good about. DJ Moore,
Decent wide receiver too.
feeling good about.
And Robbie Anderson flex.
Yeah, if you need that high upside flex, you just want to shoot for the stars. That one reception for 57 yards and a touchdown.
I'm telling you, man, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's weird week 1 stuff.
Terrace Marshall.
No, you're not.
Give it
starting
another
him.
week. Give it another week.
Yeah, I'm giving it
what I
more
say
weeks
on
than
that.
that.
And that'll do it for the Panthers and Saints there.
All right, Rams at the Colts is up next here. Matt Stafford, fire him up. Carson Wentz, I actually feel all right starting Carson Wentz. They might have to play catch-up mode here to keep up with the Rams. Could rack up some points. Darrell Henderson, you're firing him up for your running backs. Sony Michel, not really feeling confident
Nope.
just quite yet for him.
No.
Jonathan Taylor, you're going to start him in your running backs. Naheem Hines, he's a pretty decent flex option
I
for you.
think you could put him in your flex.
Most definitely. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods.
Fire him up.
Yep. Michael Pittman. I would say Michael Pittman, Zach Pascal, all in kind of the flex category. I anticipate the Colts are going to have to play catch up with the Rams to keep up with them. and they might get utilized quite a bit in this game. So can't kind of pick your poison on that one.
Yeah, if I can stay away from Colts receivers in this one, I'm going to try to, just because of that Rams defense. I mean, somebody's going to get it, but it's a matter of trying to choose who it's going to be.
Exactly.
And I'm not sure at this point.
Higbee, he's a good tight end option if you need one. And on the Colts side, it's a coin toss between Alley Cox and Doyle. So
Yeah, I'm not touching either of those guys.
unless you have to, which I do in one league.
Rough.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. All right, Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, and we just saw the Bills get beat up in week 1. I'm expecting a bounce-back performance from them. So with them, you can feel confident in their studs, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Pay attention to if Zach Moss is a healthy scratch again, but if he is, I would feel okay with Devin Singletary in a flex. He got pretty good receiving work. They did have to pass the ball a lot this last game, but that is also just part of the Bills' identity. But I'd feel okay with Devin Singletary in your flex unless you've got a better option out there somewhere that you feel more comfortable in. Receiver-wise, other than Stephon Diggs, I'm backing off for another week between Gabe Davis and Emmanuel Sanders. I don't know that I really want to plug either of them into a flex right now.
No, the Bills have 2 pretty solid cornerbacks, so I would just...
The Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
That's what you said. On the Dolphins side, Tua going against the Bills here, I mean, not really. 2 QB leagues, 1 QB league, I'm probably staying away from Tua. I think Jalen Waddle would be a good flex start. Same with Will Fuller. They could both be pretty good there in the flex. Miles Gaskin.
I'd start Gaskin.
I think you have to start Gaskin for sure. And then Gesicki?
Nope.
After last week, man.
No way.
I don't know.
Not until I see something positive.
Yeah. Bills defense isn't looking all that intimidating right now, but Tua is not Kyler, so.
I don't care who you are. If you goose me one week, I'm not starting you the next week. That's just a rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Just don't even tempt it to get double goosed.
Nope.
Next. Whoa. Next game. Need a little
getting all choked up over here.
Next game, we got the New England Patriots against the New York Giants.
Jets.
That's what I said. Oh, man, I was looking at the Giants. I was scrolling, sorry.
You are losing your mind.
I am. We're running long here.
Yep.
New York Jets on the Patriots side of the ball there. Damian Harris, I know he kind of got in the doghouse a little bit at the end, but I'm sure Belichick is a smart guy. He knows that Damian Harris is their best running back currently right now. Mac Jones, 2 quarterback or super flex league. I'd probably start him if I could. Jacoby Myers, Nelson Aguilar, I think both those guys are pretty decent flex options if you need one.
I think so.
On the Jets side of the ball, Zach Wilson, good super flex quarterback or 2 QB quarterback. Staying away from all the running backs until we see one kind of emerge from the clutter. Ty Johnson, Michael Carter, Tevin Coleman. Corey Davis, definitely starting him. Elijah Moore and Jamison Crowder, I don't really know how it's going to pan out between those two, so I might sit both of them and just kind of wait and see how it looks like when everybody's on the field.
Yeah, I wouldn't play either one and just wait the week and see.
And then Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, tight ends. If you need to start one of them, start one of them. I'm not starting any Jet tight end. So
No, me neither. All right, Bengals and the Bears taking each other on here, and Joe Burrow. I feel okay with Joe Burrow. The Bears defense, I mean, not as intimidating as it used to be. Their secondary is not great. Their front 7 are still pretty stout. But, I'd feel okay starting Joe Burrow here unless you have a better option. Jamar Chase, I'm gonna start Jamar Chase at least in a flex position.
I would.
For sure.
After what you saw last week, he's going to be riding that high.
Same with T. Higgins. I would start both of them there. I'm going to stay away from Tyler Boyd for now. I don't think there's going to be enough to go around in this game for all 3 of them to do well?
I honestly think after this week, people, I kind of believe the same thing, but Tyler Boyd buy low after week 2. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I could see
that's
that.
what I'm going to be trying to target, actually.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think there's going to be
Don't follow
enough.
my plan.
I don't think there's going to be enough to go around in this one. So I am staying off Tyler Boyd in this, but you're obviously firing up Joe Mixon and not starting any Bengals tight ends. And on the Bears side, I'm not starting either quarterback in any situation if I can avoid it.
Not till Fields is the number 1.
Yeah, exactly. And then Allen Robinson, you got to start. David Montgomery, you got to start. Otherwise,
that's about it.
That's about it. If you're feeling
Mooney,
real confident in Mooney going against the Bengals defense here,
he's kind of a dart throw though, so I wouldn't.
He is. If you, I mean, you could plug him into a second flex spot maybe. I feel like Mooney may bounce back a little bit, but
I would avoid
against the Bengals, their defense is not great. So
next game, we got the Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay side of the ball, you're starting Tom Brady, obviously.
Dude, you're starting everybody.
Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, fire all those guys up. Gronkowski, you betcha. The running backs, Fournette or Jones, I could probably see if you had one or the other, stick them in a flex spot. I mean, it just kind of depends.
I think you could start Fournette. I'm not confident in Ronald Jones.
Thing is, it's like it just kind of depends on the week. One or the other kind of goes off. There weren't very many games where they both went off. There were quite a few games where one, they almost rode the hot hand a little bit once they figured out who was feeling it that night. So I'd feel confident in starting either one in a flex. It's a roll of the dice. Your flex spots are really just kind of, you're hoping for a big boom.
Mainly just because the Falcons are so bad.
That too. And then on the Falcons side of the ball, I'm staying away from Matt Ryan until I see something better out of him. Mike Davis, you probably don't have a lot of better options at that. Although the Tampa Bay defense, it's not a good matchup for him.
No.
And then Calvin Ridley. That's about it.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts, probably if you took him really high, you probably have to start him. But yeah.
And I think that you can buy low on Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts after this matchup. That's going to be 2 weeks
I have been thinking that as well.
Of what I expect to be mediocre performances. I don't expect much out of Ridley or Pitts here.
I anticipate you making offers to the same person that I'm going to be making next week. You're the worst.
That's
great minds.
That's what happens when we talk fantasy football all the time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we think a lot alike.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So, anyway, probably buy low opportunity for both those guys after this, but you're more than likely having to start them.
Most definitely.
Vikings against the Cardinals is an afternoon game here. And for the Cardinals, starting Kyler, starting DeAndre Hopkins. I would feel okay starting Chase Edmonds in a flex spot for sure.
I would.
I'm not trusting the boom game of Christian Kirk. We've seen it before, and then we've seen what he does right afterwards.
No.
So I'm not trusting that yet. And I don't know if you ever really can trust it.
No. It's a roll of the dice.
Viking side of the ball, Kirk Cousins. I don't know, man. I don't think I want to start Kirk Cousins in this. That Cardinals front four there is just filthy.
I honestly, I'd be all right with starting Kirk Cousins just because I think, like we saw last week, I think the Cardinals are going to get out really fast. I mean, their offense is humming already, so I could see them getting out ahead really quick, especially at a home game. So, Vikings might have to be playing catch up if that's the case. Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, those guys are going to be racking up catches. So
I can see that, but I am not overly confident in Kirk. With Thielen and Jefferson, you got to start them up. No tight ends. Don't give me those tight ends. And Dalvin Cook, you're firing him up.
Mm-hmm. All right, next game, we got the Titans going to be visiting the Seattle Seahawks in the Pacific Northwest. This should be a good one. On the Seahawks side of the ball, your usual suspects, Russell Wilson, fire him up. Chris Carson, you betcha. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. Yep. Gerald Everett, if you're looking for a Hail Mary at the tight end spot, you're streaming it. Probably not a terrible pick. I mean, Gerald Everett's probably a good bet to catch a touchdown most weeks. On the Titans side of the ball, Tannehill, I don't know.
The Seahawks secondary,
It's not too bad. It's not the best, but I honestly think Titans are going to have a bounce back week. So
I think so too.
I think Tannehill, put him back out there, have the confidence. This could very well be a shootout.
Yeah.
By any means necessary here. So Derrick Henry, mediocre week. Putting Derrick Henry in your lineup, people. Don't get cute. A.J. Brown, firing up A.J. Brown. Julio Jones, like I said, I think they were just all out of sorts this week. I'm sure they're going to focus on that during practice, have a bounce back week, put Julio in a wide receiver 2 or a flex matchup, and that's about it for those guys.
Right on. And I'm just going to make an executive decision here and do this.
Ooh, yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm calling the jackpot matchup of the week.
I was going to say either that one or the Chiefs and the Ravens.
I was looking at that one too.
I was like, ooh, that could be real tasty.
I was looking at that one too. And maybe we'll just double up and we'll do 2 jackpots right here because we're going right in a row. And with the Chargers and the Cowboys, I think we're going to see fireworks just like we saw with the Cowboys and the Buccaneers last week. And I think Herbert and the Chargers are just going to have to throw the ball to keep up with the passing pace of the Cowboys here.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm firing up Herbert. I'm firing up Keenan Allen. I'm firing up Mike Williams. I'm firing up Austin Eckler. Heck, I'm firing up Jared Cook.
Oh, yeah.
All of them.
Saddle up.
All of them. That's right. And on the Cowboys side, I'm going to throw Dak out there. I'm going to throw CeeDee Lamb out there. I'm going to throw Amari Cooper out there. Ezekiel Elliott and Blake Jarwin.
Oh.
Not the right one.
Cedric Wilson.
Oh, also Cedric Wilson.
Yeah!
There we go. I'll be honest with you. I forgot his name for a second.
Okay.
I was going to say it, and then I was like, oh.
I was like, he's leading up. 2 wide receivers.
Who is it?
3.
No, I would feel okay actually throwing Cedric Wilson out into a flex. And Blake Jarwin, if you have a better option at tight end, I would probably
Jarwin
start them.
and Schultz, it's going to be
because I think they're feeding off each other a little bit. Mm-hmm. But no, this is going to be what I think a high-scoring affair. It's going to be back and forth. I think we're going to see a lot of passing in this one. And I do think we see a bounce-back performance from Zeke. So, yo! That's a jackpot.
All right, next game is this Sunday night game. We got the Chiefs at the Ravens.
Another jackpot.
Another one.
Another one.
On the Chiefs side of the ball, you know who you're starting, people. Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Start Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have a better option more than likely, and you're going to feel real silly if you have Clyde Edwards-Helaire on your bench and he goes off. So you got to roll him back out there. Other than that, I'm not starting anybody else on the Chiefs.
Nope.
Baltimore side of the ball, Lamar Jackson, you're firing him up.
Yep.
Travion Williams, you're firing him. Tyson Williams.
There you go.
Not Travion. Tyson Williams, you're firing him up.
Yep.
Latavius could be a flex option.
I think so.
I could see it as a flex option.
Yeah, I think he'll get enough work that he could get you a performance there in the flex.
Hollywood Brown, you're firing him up.
I think so.
You have to.
Yeah,
if you think this is going to be a high-scoring affair, Hollywood Brown's going to have to be involved for it to be that way.
Yeah, Sunday night game, they're going to be getting after it here.
Sammy Watkins, I think you could fire him up too. I think he's going to catch some balls.
I'd be willing to put Watkins in a flex.
Yep. Mark Andrews, most definitely. And that's about it. Oh,
nice.
If you have kickers, start Butker and Tucker.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what you want to do. That's another jackpot right there. And the Monday night game, we've got the Detroit Lions against the Green Bay Packers. and the Packers need a bounce-back performance. What better team other than the Lions?
Yep.
So, start Aaron Rodgers, don't get cute. Start Aaron Jones, don't get cute. Start Devontae Adams, don't get cute. Start Robert Tonyan.
Should I get cute?
Don't get cute.
Okay.
No, don't do it.
Ain't gonna do it.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna go in there butt ugly. Not cute.
That's good. Don't get cute.
I'm not getting cute. Not on this one.
Stay in your ragged clothes.
Staying rough.
Bedhead. Go walking out there.
Just gonna get in there.
How do you feel about A.J. Dillon in a flex?
If we think that they're going to come out just swinging and looking for revenge this game, I think Dillon would be a decent flex spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've been going back and forth personally in one of my leagues.
Yeah.
And honestly, the more I think about it, I might be all right with starting Dillon. So.
Yeah. Yep. We've mentioned some better options out there during this preview. So
quite honestly, this would be a matchup. If we were looking down matchups of where you would want to spot start Dillon, where you could see a blowout
this
happening,
would probably be the one.
This would be one of them.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't feel too bad about A.J. Dillon in a flex. Lions side of the ball, you got to fire up T.J. Hawkinson. You got to fire up DeAndre Swift. Mm-hmm. I think you got to fire up Jamal Williams.
Oh, yeah.
As well. Jared Goff. Man.
If they're going to be playing catch up,
I think you play him.
Yeah, I think you kind of.
It hurts my soul a little bit to say confidently to play Jared Goff, but yeah,
this could be 2 weeks in a row that they're playing from behind.
I think they're going to have to.
Yeah,
I mean, and he may be a season-long sort of play. I mean, honestly, if he's going to continue to play like that and target Hawkinson and the running backs as much as he is.
Lions just lost one of their best cornerbacks for the year, Jeff Okudah.
Yeah, with an Achilles tear. So add him to Gandalf's Lament at the beginning.
Anybody else?
I'm not feeling confident in any of the wide receivers. I think
you got to wait until one kind of emerges, whether that's Amon-Ra St. Brown,
Quintez Cephas, who caught the only touchdown out of the wide receiver group there.
Yeah. Tyrell Williams, who's in a concussion protocol right now. So
yeah, otherwise I'm not even in a flex spot. I don't want to start any of those wide receivers. So
gotta wait.
Goff, Hawk, Jamal, and Swift from the Lions, and that's all I'm willing to do.
I like it.
Nice, very nice. Week 2 coming up. Let's go.
Prepare yourselves.
I hope that I feel better about myself after this week.
You know what? I think you are, because my man Rocky's got a message for everyone that's not feeling good about themselves. You got to pick yourselves up, because you know why?
You're better than that.
That's right. Thank you, Rocky. I appreciate it. That'll do it.
Pick yourself up. Dust yourself off. It's week 2.
You're better than that.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, follow us on Twitter at Chairman Fantasy, at FindFF Leagues, and at Fantasy Squatch. Fantasy Sasquatch.
Yeah, download, rate, and review us on all of your podcast listening devices. Anywhere you listen to a podcast, we're probably there.
Shoot us a 5-star review, or just a review. I mean, whatever. It's fine. Just get us on there.
I guess it helps us in some way. I don't know really how, but
we appreciate it. We're just out here having fun.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys later.
Good luck.
Hey, Alex.
What?
So when you're on a boat and you're on like a rocky ocean, and you're drifting out to sea, what's the best way to keep your boat like sturdy and just staying still?
Oars?
No, not even close. You throw out your anchor.
Oh, your anchor. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You throw out your anchor. You know what I like to do to keep my podcast steady and just sturdy while everything else seems to be rocky and wavy around me?
Not oars, right?
Not oars. It's Anchor again.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Anchor.fm. Let me explain. This app is free, completely free to host your podcast on.
Like 100% free?
100% free. And you get unlimited storage for all your episodes.
Unlimited?
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
As Russell Wilson would say.
Yes.
That's right. It's also got creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer.
Well, I'm all about that.
I know. And it also distributes your podcast for you. So it can be heard on the likes of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of them.
What's not to like?
It's great. You can even make money from your podcast, Alex.
And we're all about that.
And you don't need minimum listenership. So,
That's
I mean, that's a real good thing. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. You need to download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started.
I'm getting right on it right now.
Keep your boat and your podcast sturdy.